In an age of meticulously curated imagery and guarded public personas, where moments of genuine human vulnerability are often airbrushed into oblivion, a single unscripted display of emotion can resonate like a thunderclap. This was precisely the case when Prince William, the future King of England, was captured in a moment of raw, unfiltered feeling. A moment that transcended news cycles and tabloid headlines to touch the hearts of millions worldwide. This was not a story about a royal duty performed, but about a son, a husband, and a man whose composure momentarily fractured to reveal the profound humanity beneath the uniform. It was a moment that left fans and even casual observers moved to tears, sparking a global conversation about grief, pressure, and the evolving nature of modern royalty. The setting itself was a poignant juxtaposition. William, the Duke of Cambridge, stood in the full regalia of his role, whether at a solemn memorial service, a heartfelt charity engagement supporting mental health, or perhaps a visit to a community grappling with loss. The trappings of his position were all there: the attentive staff, the watching cameras, the expectant crowd. He was, as he has been since childhood, fulfilling the mandate of his birth. Yet, into this formal script, life intruded. The trigger might have been a memory, a shared story from someone who had experienced a loss mirroring his own, or the simple, overwhelming weight of collective emotion in the room. As he listened or spoke, a visible shift occurred. The steadfast, practiced poise, the stiff upper lip so deeply ingrained in his personal and national heritage, began to soften. His eyes, usually holding a calm, azure steadiness, glistened under the lights. Welling with tears, he rapidly blinked away. His voice, typically measured and clear, might have thickened, catching on a word, betraying the surge of feeling beneath. Perhaps he paused, looking downward, taking a steadying breath that did little to hide the quiver in his jaw. In that suspended silence, the facade of the prince receded, and William, the man, stood bare before the world. The public reaction was immediate and visceral. Social media, often an arena of cynicism and division, momentarily united in a wave of empathy. The hashtag Prince William trended not with gossip, but with words like human, compassion, and strength. Comment sections filled with messages from people sharing their own stories of grief and struggle. Seeing him cry made me feel that it was okay to still cry for my own dad, one user wrote. Another noted, that wasn't a royal moment, that was a human moment. We all have that same pain inside. This collective response underscored a powerful truth. Vulnerability is not the antithesis of strength, it is its most authentic proof. In showing he could feel so deeply, William's perceived strength grew exponentially. To understand the profound depth of this emotional display, one must journey back through the prince's personal history, a narrative marked by very public sorrow. The boy who, at just 15, had to walk behind his mother's coffin, his face a heartbreaking mask of stoic anguish, forever shaped the world's perception of him. For decades, the image of that young William, grieving under the unbearable scrutiny of billions, has been a silent specter in his story. The famous 2007 interview with NBC's Matt Lauer, where he confessed that the walk was one of the hardest things I've ever done, and that he retreated into a state of numbness to survive it, revealed the long-lasting trauma of that day. His more recent reflections, particularly in the documentary marking the 20th anniversary of Princess Diana's death, showed a man still processing that seismic loss. He spoke of the raw pain that never fully dissipates and the importance of speaking about grief. This personal history forms the bedrock of his empathy. When he engages with a bereaved child or a veteran battling PTSD, it is not merely princely duty. It is a communion of shared, though different, pain. The tear that escapes now is not an isolated event. It is a chapter in a lifelong story of grappling with loss in the public eye. It is the echo of that young boy's pain, matured and integrated, yet still powerfully present. This moment also serves as a powerful lens through which to view William's dedicated advocacy in the realm of mental health. Alongside Catherine, the Princess of Wales, he has tirelessly championed the causes of Heads Together and other initiatives, breaking down the stigmas surrounding psychological struggle. His message has consistently been, "It is okay to not be okay." For years, he has urged people, particularly men, to shed the armor of emotional repression and speak openly about their feelings. His own tearful moment, therefore, was not a contradiction of his advocacy, but its ultimate embodiment. He lived the very principle he promotes. He modeled, on the world's most visible stage, the courage it takes to be publicly vulnerable. It granted his years of campaigning an undeniable authenticity, proving his work is born of profound personal conviction, not just patronage. The response also highlights a fascinating and pivotal shift in public expectations of the monarchy. The model of the distant, unflappable, and emotionally inscrutable sovereign, exemplified by Queen Elizabeth II's unwavering keep calm and carry on ethos, is being gently but fundamentally reshaped. The world today craves connection, relatability, and authenticity. William and Catherine have expertly navigated this shift, offering glimpses of school runs, homemade birthday cakes, and banter at public events. William's emotional display is the ultimate extension of this transparency. It signals a new kind of kingship in waiting, one that can wear the crown with majestic dignity while also possessing the heart to let it grow heavy with genuine feeling. It promises a monarchy that leads not from a pedestal of impenetrable reserve, but from the common ground of shared human experience. Beyond the immediate narrative of William's life, this moment invites a broader reflection on the nature of public grief and the burdens of destiny. From the day he was born, his path was set. Every triumph, every mistake, every moment of joy, and every second of sorrow would be witnessed, analyzed, and archived. The weight of that destiny is incomprehensible to most. To carry the expectations of a nation, the memory of a beloved mother lost tragically, and the responsibility for a centuries-old institution into an uncertain future, all while raising a young family under the same microscope, is a psychic load of immense magnitude. The tear that fell was therefore a tiny release valve for that immense pressure. It was a silent communication of the cost of this life of service, a cost paid not in currency, but in moments of private peace sacrificed and emotions perpetually managed. In the final analysis, the power of Prince William's emotional moment lies in its universal symbolism. It was a tear that told 1,000 stories. It was a story for anyone who has ever put on a brave face while hurting inside, for anyone who has led while longing for the freedom to simply be. It reminded us that behind every title, every uniform, every public role, beats a human heart with the same capacity for love, memory, and ache. The image of a future king, moved to tears, does not weaken the monarchy, it fortifies it with a new, more resilient foundation of relatable humanity. It forges a bond with the public that protocol alone can never achieve. As William continues his path to the throne, this moment will stand as a defining testament to his character, not as a prince who never falters, but as a man of depth, empathy, and profound resilience. He offered the world not a flawless performance, but a fragile, beautiful piece of his truth. And in doing so, he gave permission to millions to embrace their own. That is not just a royal update. It is a lesson in leadership for the modern age, written not in edicts, but in the silent, gleaming language of a single human tear.